Alrighty, guys. So what we're going to do today is our math talk's going to look a little bit different. Still going to be talking about a math talk, but I'm going to ask you guys questions, and I want you guys to write your response on your whiteboard. So what that would look like is if I were asking a question, you guys would answer it and hold up the whiteboard. So if I were to say, if you were to ask me, Mr. Pattison, are you having a good start to your day? I would say yes. I'd hold it up just like that, just like London's doing as well. Awesome job. So our first ones, we're going to put some terms down that were familiar. As I'm writing these terms, I want you guys to think about what these mean. Okay, that's the first one. Second one. That's the third one. Let me rewrite that just so it's more clear. It's left or right, so we're focusing on which way the decimal's going there. And then for the last one, okay, thinking about these ones, okay, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, okay? And then we're going to, you guys are going to hold up your whiteboards, okay, as I'm asking those. All right, so for the first one, as you can see, this is twice as many, okay? Twice as many. I want you guys to write a problem, okay, that's showing me twice as many. You can come up with any number. For example, you can come up with 0.3 times something, right? Or any way to show twice as many, okay? How would you show that? Twice as many. Write it on your whiteboard and then hold it up. We talked about this one yesterday. Oh, awesome job. I'm seeing some responses. Awesome. All right, yeah, so I'm seeing some responses coming up. Let's see, Mila's got hers. Penny has hers up as well. Great job. Caitlin's got hers up and also, and Cami does too. Yes, so could somebody share out loud, what does twice as many mean? Yeah, Narina.
It means double or times two the amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so double or times two. Okay, so what I saw from you guys, I saw like 0.7 plus 0.7. And then also too, I think I saw like 0.7 times 2 or any type of decimal number like that. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's twice as many. Okay. I want you guys to think about this one. Could we rewrite these numbers as a fraction or in fractions? What would those be in fractions?
1/10 times 1/10.
Okay. 1/10 times 1/10. Okay. I wanted to see what, so Jacob's saying that. I want to see what you guys think as well. Write it on your whiteboards. Right? You guys, if you agree, you could write the same thing. Write that down. Okay, so I'm seeing some responses here. Okay, holding up, seeing some whiteboards being held up. Let's go to number 2. Let me see if people are holding those up as well. Awesome, awesome job. Yeah, great. Yeah, so I'm seeing that. Yeah, you guys are right. Mila, what did you write? Did you agree with Jacob?
I wrote 1/10 times 1/10.
1/10 times 1/10. Okay, we think about this, right? Remember we did this earlier back in, I think, September. We talked about what this would look like on a number line. That is 1/10 times 1/10. That being said, write this on your whiteboard. Are decimals whole numbers, or are they parts of numbers? Write either whole number or part of a number. Are they like a part of a number, or are they like a whole number? Whole or part? Just write that down. Whole or part, and then hold it up. Okay, I'm seeing some responses here. Okay, seeing some people, just giving them some time to hold those up. Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing, I think I just saw just about everybody's here. Yeah, that is a part. It's a part of a number. So that's important to think about, right? When we are discussing these and we're about to go through this. Yeah. So think about these, right? You know, thinking about our language, right, that we're using for math, right? We're thinking, you know, as we're multiplying these are parts of numbers, okay? Now, this one right here, if we were to multiply, and you might have to think back, okay, to previous lessons that you did, maybe in 4th grade or other times, right? If we were to multiply these two decimal numbers, I'm not going to say them yet because I want you to think about it. Is our answer, is it going to have the decimal moving to the left, or is the decimal going to move to the right? Okay. And I put the arrows right there so you guys can see left versus right. I know it's kind of tricky sometimes. So what do we get when we do that? When we multiply these two numbers, what movement are we going to have? Write that down on your whiteboards and then hold them up, left or right. Okay, I'm seeing some responses. I think some people are still thinking about this. So is it gonna, so the decimal, right? So some people are saying right, meaning the decimal would go here and this would turn into a whole number 2. What do you guys think? Okay, I think I'm seeing a couple people. Hold up your whiteboards. It's okay, guys, too, if you get this wrong. Don't be afraid, guys, because we're going to go through this today. I just wanted to see what you guys know so far heading in to this lesson. Alrighty, I'm seeing some different responses. Okay, I'm also seeing some kind of mixed responses, a lot of rights, okay? And that's okay. What this would actually move to would be the left, okay? We're gonna have decimal movement to the left side. Okay, so Cami, why did you say left originally? If you don't mind me asking you.
Well, because since when it's getting bigger, right there would be so on the right is the part of the whole. So when it's getting bigger, it should move to the left where the whole part is.
Yes. Yeah, so if we have a decimal shift to the right, if the decimal's going that way, that means that that 2 is becoming bigger. But what do we know about decimal numbers? Are they parts or are they wholes?
Parts.
Right. Yeah, so that means it's getting smaller. You're going to have a decimal shift to the left. Okay, that means the farther you get away from from zero, meaning that you have your zero, that's a very, very small number compared to 4, right? Okay, so how about this one here? Are we going to have, is the decimal going to go left like the same way or right this time when we multiply 2/10 times 10? So is that going to be right or left? So meaning, is it going to shift to the right or is it going to go to the left, the decimal? Think about the decimal just moving. How about that one? Hold it up. Okay, seeing some responses here. Narina, what did you say for this one?
Right?
So you're saying that the decimal, right, is going to be, you're going to have 2/10, right, moving, and it's going to become a 2. How come to the right?
I chose to the right because when you multiply it by 10, the place value will go 1 up, making the decimal have it to go to the right.
Yeah, and that's what we were doing yesterday. So guys, I'm glad we talked about this. Yeah, so when you are multiplying decimals, okay, the decimal is going to kind of shift to the left. Your numbers are kind of going towards the right, but your decimal is going to go more. Your numbers are going to go away from 0. Okay, your decimal is going to keep going farther to the left. Your numbers are going farther to the right. You're getting smaller. Your number is going to the right, or I mean, your decimal is going to the right, and your numbers kind of getting closer to 0. That means you're getting bigger, right? Multiplying it by 10. Is 10 bigger than 1/10? Yes or no? Thumbs up if you guys would say 10 is bigger than 1/10. That number 10 is bigger than 1/10. Thumbs up if you guys agree with that. Yeah, 10, right? That would be bigger number than 1/10. We know that's going to increase the value of our decimal number. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. Awesome job, you guys. Great job participating. All right. Yeah, that sounds good, Penny. If you're lagging, just rejoin. Come join us back up. We're going to be on the SAB booklet. Okay. So right now we are going to be on SAB, page 4.7. I'm going to unspotlight me and spotlight Quail. Let me make sure you guys have a good angle of Quail first. So as I'm talking, getting it ready, we're going to be on 4-7. And on 4-7, that is on page 135. So turn to page 135 on the SAB. Okay, so we are starting here, shifts with decimals. Okay, and we're going to start with our I can statement. I'm going to write it on the right hand margin here. And that is I. This is on page 135. I can shift. By looking Okay, so we kind of talked about this one earlier. Can shift decimal places by looking at what I am multiplying. And then let's look at this first example. Okay, we have Leon. He's earning $213 a month. And they're showing the money here. So look, he's earning, for every month, right, he's earning $213. In this problem right here, he saves 1/10 of his earnings. How much will he save each month? Okay, so if he's saving 1/10 of $213, okay, what is he multiplying? So what is he, if he's saving that much, and they kind of show you right here, what is he multiplying the $213 by? Who could tell me?
By 1.
Okay, so
No, 0.1.
yeah, so zero, so it's the 0 and the decimal and the 1. How else could we say that?
1/10.
Good, 1/10. Okay, so if we're multiplying $213, right, by 1/10, what is our new answer? What did they get?
$21.30.
Right, $21.30. And then which way did the decimal move? Where did the decimal go? It went
To the
from
right.
So you're saying the decimal went to the right. So when they multiplied, so explain to me, how was it the right?
Because when
What
we
happened?
multiplied it, the 0 went, actually, hold on.
Okay, yeah, so we're multiplying the 1/10 by the 213. Okay, and then what was the shift? What was the new number we got from $213?
21 and 3/10.
Yeah, so we have $21, right? And then we're dealing with money, so instead of saying 3/10, what would we say that as?
30 hundredths.
If you have 3 dimes, how much money do you have?
30.
30.
Yeah, 30 what though? Cents. So yeah, guys, be very careful. Okay, see, we're dealing with it. When we deal with the unit, we want to make sure it's dollars. Okay, and then after the decimal point, right, we have our dollars here. What goes right there? So if this is $21, what's our unit of money right here?
Cents.
Cents. So how would we'd say $21 and
30 cents.
30 cents. Yes. Yeah, good. Yeah, be careful of that. Okay. Alrighty. So we have $21.30. If he saves 1/10 of his earnings, how much will he save each month? Okay, so we have 21, as you guys told me, $30. And then ultimately, right, what happened to the value of the bills, of each bill?
Got smaller.
Yeah, it got smaller. How did it get smaller?
Because it shifted to the right.
Right. So there was a decrease. Very good. All right, these are more reflectory questions, but I want to keep going. Kind of the same thing there. We could talk about this one briefly. Right here, what did 213, don't tell me 0.01. How would we say that? What did $213 get multiplied by?
One hundred.
Good. Yes, 100ths. What happened to the $213 when it got multiplied by 100ths?
decreased.
It increased.
So look, the $213, it increased or it decreased?
It
Decreased.
Decreased.
by 2
Decreased.
values.
It decreased. What happened to tell me how the decimal point moved.
It
Somebody
moved
tell me.
to the
It moved
left.
to the left.
Move to the
It moved to the left. Yeah, so we started right here, right? 213. And then it moved twice to the left. Do you guys see a pattern? Do you guys see a pattern with how the decimal point moved?
Because the number that it's multiplying by, the amount of zeros, it moves the decimal point to the left.
Yeah, the amount of, okay, yeah, the amount of zeros, right? The amount of, there's a zero there, right? That's part of it. And then there's, do you look to the numbers to the left of the decimal to see how many times they move, or the numbers to the right of the decimal to see how many times it's moving?
To the left.
So to the left is the zero. How about here?
Or to the right.
Yeah, to the right, right? How many numbers are behind the decimal?
2.
2. Yeah, so that tells us, right, we need to move 2. We need to move that decimal twice, right? Right there. Okay. So what's his new earnings? What did he get? He had $213. He's saving 1/100th of his earnings. How much is he saving each month?
$2.13.
Right. $2.13. What happens to the value of each bill?
It gets smaller.
Yes, right. It gets smaller. Would you guys rather have $213 or $2.13?
213.
213.
Right. As we said before, there is a decrease. I know Garrett's saying, yeah, 213, way more. Alrighty, so let's look at 12. Suppose Marla saves 1/10 of $324 every month. Okay, so she's saving that, all right? So multiplying that by 1/10. Okay, what do you guys see as the shift? What changed from $324?
It shifted to the left one time to make $32.40.
Yeah, we had a shift. We had the decimal place shift left, right? And that changed that number to $32.44. Okay, so now this is where we have to be careful. Okay, I'm going to challenge you guys to think about this a little bit differently. It wants to know how $324 shifted. If we said the decimal shifted to the left, right? How else what would you guys say the number shifted to? Did it shift to the right or to the left?
Left.
So we know that $324 shifted one place to the
left.
So think about it from the decimal perspective now. The decimal is going to stay there. Now it's $32.14. The decimal didn't move. What would you say the number shifted?
Right.
Yes, good. So I was showing you guys that way to move the decimals, but when we're talking about this and you get this problem, you want to make sure that you say to the right because it wants to know how the number shifted. Do you guys get that? The number shifted one place to the right. But the decimal, you have to think now about the decimal staying there. And then it becomes, and then how, if it's shifting, right, how would we write that as a fraction? How would we write this number, how it's changing as a fraction?
324 24 times 1/10 equals.
Thumbs up if you guys would agree that it is 1/10 for 1/10 for 0 and a 0.1. Thumbs up if you guys agree with that. I'm gonna wait till everybody votes. Thumbs up if you guys agree that if you multiply $324 to get 3240, that it becomes 1/10 as much. Okay, I see somebody, Cash, put the check mark. Some people are agreeing. Also, looks like people are thumbing up. Yes, so that is 1/10. Okay, now don't think about how the decimal shifting. Think about how the number shifting. What place, how many places did it shift? Or, I mean, what direction did the number shift, not the decimal, for this next one? Did the number shift, not the decimal, did the number shift to the right or to the left?
To the right.
To the left.
So the decimal shifted left, but you're right, the number shifted to the right. Just think about the decimal staying in one spot. It's going to shift to the right. Okay, so $324, okay, shifts how many places? How many places did the number shift from the decimals?
100.
100th, you're right. How many was it one place or two places?
Two places.
Good, 2 places. And then what did that become? What was that? What's our new amount? Oh, I mean, I'm sorry.
One.
What's sorry? It becomes how much is mine?
100.
100.
Yeah, 100ths. And then how would we write that as a fraction?
1 over.
1 over
100.
Good, 1/100. Great job. Okay, let's cover these. Multiply and discuss patterns. All right, can somebody answer this one for me?
24.
Good, 24, thank you. Okay, someone answer this one for me.
2.4.
2.4.
All right, I'm gonna keep track of who's answering first. Thank you, that was Mila. Mila, awesome job. I'm gonna give you a star for these problems. There's your little star right there. Okay, and then the next one, what would that one be?
0.20.
0.24.
2400.
Yeah, so that would be 0.
0.24.
Yeah, and it would be 0.24 or 0 and can you repeat that again? The way you said it, just the way you said it originally.
2400.
Very good, 2400s. Great job, Marina. Alrighty, how about, oh, let's jump, I'm jumping ahead. 15. Okay, what's 689 times 1?
689.
Good.
689.
Alrighty, what about this one? How is that a shift?
68.9.
68.9.
68.9, or how else could we say that?
68
and 1/10.
9.
9/10. Yeah, very good.
9/10.
9/10, not 1/10.
Good. How about this one right here?
6 and 89
hundredths.
Great job. That's 6, your decimal 89. Okay, very good. Well, here's what I want you guys to do. We're gonna keep going, but I want you guys to privately message me what you get for number 21. Solve that one and privately message me what you get for 21. I'm seeing a lot of participation, people putting the correct answer. Yeah, just be careful, okay? Make sure you guys are privately messaging. Penny, could you share what you got?
I got 67.2.
Yeah, 67.2. How else could we say 67.2? Anybody?
67
67
and 2/10.
Good. 67 and 2/10. So the way I taught you guys, I was saying decimal movement to the left. Okay, but what did the how did the number shift?
They shifted
Shifted to the right.
to the right.
Yeah, they shifted right. Because think about it here. We have 672. And this is technically one way we could write it. 672 decimal, our decimal and our zero. They're shifting to the right. That decimal stays there. It turns into that. Okay, so there's a shift right.
Basically just means the decimal points at the end of 672 times 0.1, you have to shift it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, 22. These are these problems in word form. Okay, Chris has, can I have somebody actually read that for me and then read it with, remember, you're dealing with money, so focus on what it says as you're reading it. Narina, go ahead.
Chris has 10 cents.
Good.
Katie has 10 times as much money as Chris. How much money does Katie have?
All right, how would we solve this? What numbers would we multiply, divide, to add? What are we doing? How would we solve this?
10 hundredths times 10.
10 cents times 10.
Yeah, and then, so, yeah, 10 cents. And are you sure it would be 10 hundredths? Oh, let's make sure that we're following along. Okay, we're focusing on our math right now. All right. Yeah, because I want you guys to get this. And if we're not focusing and not following directions, okay, we're not going to really know. You guys may feel comfortable with this, but I want you guys to follow along with what we're doing right now. Yeah, so it would be, yeah, so that's kind of a tricky one, right? Because we think 10 cents is kind of a small amount compared to $1, but if we got rid of that zero and it wasn't $1 there, we have to say 10 cents when we read it. What is that? Narina, could you repeat or say it out loud?
It would be 1/10.
Right, it would be 1/10. 100th would be one there, but yeah. Okay, so, but you're right though. We're going to multiply these two numbers. When we do that, what happens?
It would shift, the decimal will shift to the right.
Okay, decimal could shift to the right. And then how could we say the numbers? What way would the number shift?
They shifted left.
Left.
The number would shift left, right, from the decimal. So how much money did Katie have?
$1.
Good job. $1. I think we're going to come back to that. I want to go through other ones, making sure you guys know, getting some of these concepts down. Okay, let's look at 26, 27, 28. So 26, that is 1/10, right? Times 4/10. What is 1/10 of 1/10? Then what is 1/10 of 4/10? So think about that. Okay, so this is the shift when both numbers are decimals. Okay, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think will happen? We kind of did this in the morning on the morning check-in. What do you guys think is going to be our new response here? A decimal times a decimal. Do you think that the number is ultimately going to get smaller or larger? Thumbs up if you think larger, thumbs down if you think our answer is going to be a smaller answer. Thumbs up if you think it's a larger number, that it's going to be, that the numbers are going to shift to the left, meaning that it's going to be a larger one, or thumbs down if you think it's going to be a smaller one. I want to see everybody's hands. Thumbs up or down? All righty, I don't see people voting. Cash, what do you think? Thumbs up or down?
I think thumb up because zero. Wait, what? I have no idea.
What's this the same as writing as? What's this? How else could we rewrite this number? 1/10.
1/10.
Good. How else could we rewrite 4 over? I mean, I almost said it. How else can we write 4/10?
4/10.
Mm-hmm.
4/10.
If we multiplied that out,
Get 4/10.
4 over 100, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Is that getting a lot smaller?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How would we write that number, maybe 4 over 100? Or what do you think we're going to write that in decimal form?
0.04.
400.
400, 0 and 0.4. We're going to do multiple ways. I'm going to show you guys multiple ways of doing this. But yes, you were right. That is 400s. Okay. What did you guys notice? What was the pattern here? What happened? Tell me verbally what happened. How did that change when we did two decimals?
I think it changed to 400ths because both of them are decimals, so that it's not gonna get bigger because they're both decimals. So it got smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's two small numbers, right? Two parts of a whole, right? Being multiplied together. Mm-hmm. So that means that it's going to get a lot smaller. Think about that one. So the numbers from the decimals, did the numbers shift to the left or to the right? Just the numbers, not the decimal. Did the numbers shift in relation to the decimals to the right or left?
To the right. Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, but good job though. Right in the chat, guys. How did the numbers shift?
I mixed up my right with my left.
It can happen. That's why I had the arrows there too. So there was a number shift to the right. And if the numbers shift to the right, does that mean the number is getting smaller or larger?
Smaller.
Good.
Smaller.
The number is getting smaller. How about that one? What do you think is going to happen there? How do you think that one's going to change?
It's gonna get a lot more smaller.
A lot. Okay, Cammie's saying it's going to get a lot smaller. Someone else, what do you guys think?
I think it's going to get smaller than 400ths.
I
It's going to
agree
be
with
smaller than 400ths.
Yes.
I'm going to show you guys a couple methods to do this. First method, write it here. 0, it's 1/10 times, write it vertically, 0.4. How many numbers do we have to the right part of the decimal? This is one method to use. How many numbers do we have to the right of the decimal?
3,
3. So what's 4 times 1?
4,
So I would go 1, 1, 2, 3. That's one way you could do it and get your answer. Another way you could do it would be to think about how this looks. What's another way? How can we rewrite these two numbers in fraction form?
400
1/10 times 4 over 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. When we multiply that across, remember, so don't cross cancel, but without cross canceling, just multiplying that across, what do we get?
4 over 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we get 4 over 1,000, which is, does that make sense right here looking at our two numbers?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we know that there's going to be 3 numbers right behind our decimal point because we have 3 numbers here. So that's 4 thousandths.
You wrote 4/10.
Right, wait, right here? Oh, no, I
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
I wrote
Oh, you
4
wrote
hundredths.
0
Or
and
400,
I was checking
sorry.
to see if you guys are paying attention. Yeah, so that's 4 hundredths, 4 thousandths, yes. See, you got to be careful. You got to take this slow and think about it because it's kind of simple to make mistakes if you go a little bit fast. You want to make sure you have the right amount of zeros and then you're moving your decimal appropriately. How many places did the 4 shift each time you multiplied? So each time we were multiplying it by something, right? When we started with the 10th, then we did 100th, then we did 1,000. On each number, how many times was it shifting?
Once.
Mm-hmm. Good. It was shifting once. Great job, Narina. Okay. And then in which direction? What direction was the 4 going?
right.
Each time it was shifting.
To the
To the
right.
right.
Good. Yep, that is to the right. Perfect. Alrighty, multiply by 100. Think about what it takes. Oh, I think we have someone here. I'll tell him this is Surdam. This isn't going to make the recording probably. The cut.
I saw that. I'll message him in the waiting room.
Okay, sounds good. Oh,
Oh, one person, they left.
okay. Alrighty, what is 100th of 1? Then what is 100th of 4? So think about, so these are thinking about questions. Okay, so if we multiplied 4 times, what are we multiplying 4 by? What decimal is that?
100.
It's
Good, yeah, 100th. Great job, you guys. So what do you think we get when we multiply that?
Four tenths.
400,
400s.
maybe?
Okay, so I hearing 400ths coming in from Anderson. Anderson, why did you say 400ths?
Because 0.01 times 4. The 4 times 1 equals 4, and 4 times 0 equals 0, and 4 times 0 equals 0 too. And 0.01 times 4 doesn't equal 0.40, or you could just get rid of the 0.
Good.
You can only get rid of the 0 if the answer was 0.040.
Yeah, because 4 times 1, what is that?
4,
Uh-huh. And then 4 times 0, right? What's that?
0.
Yeah, so this is a more simpler one to do. You just multiply the 4 times the 1, you write it as is. Okay, sorry, my hand is slightly shaking. There we go. Okay. Okay, now think about what we did on the other one. What is 1/100th of 1/10? Think about when you multiply 100 times 10, how that would change the dynamic and our shift of our numbers. What do you guys think we're going to get for 31? What would you guys
Maybe
guess?
4,000.
Yeah.
4,000.
4,000s, right? So 4,000s, what would that look like? How many zeros do I need to put in front of my 4?
3 zeros.
3 0.
3 zeros total.
Two zeros from on the right of the decimal.
Good, yep.
And then 1 0. on
Or
the
to,
left
yeah,
because
you're right,
of
yeah. So 2 zeros. And how many more times did the 4 shift?
10.
Mm-hmm. Right, it shifted one other time. Yep. How many places did the 4 shift each time you multiplied? All right, so I just answered that question by asking you, how many was it? You told me. How many
One.
times was it?
1 time.
Uh-huh.
1 time.
1. In what direction? What direction did the 4 move?
Right.
Right.
Moving farther to the right, meaning was the 4 getting smaller or larger?
Way smaller.
Way smaller. You are absolutely right. Way smaller. Okay, this is also an important one to look at here. To multiply by 2/10 or 2/100, you could think of 2/10 as 2 times 0.1, right? Or 2 times 1/10, and 2 times 1 and 100, or 2 times 100th. So there, let me repeat that. 2/10 as 2 times 1/10, and 2/100 as 2 times 100. Okay, look at 35. It wants you to change that 2 back into a 2/10. How would we do that?
By
It's multiplied
multiplying
by 10.
1/10.
By 10.
Mhm. Yep. Multiplying it by 1/10, what would that look like? How many zeros would I have? Or would I have any zeros to the right, or would I just write 1?
Add the decimal and then a 1.
Yep, put the decimal there, just add 1, that's 1/10. Okay, so how about here? How about, they did it for us here. What's 2 times that number? How would I read that?
2
400.
times
Times
400.
400.
2 times 400.
2 times 400. What does that equal?
Equal
800s. 800s.
yeah.
8. Would it, yeah, so would it be 8/10 or 8/100?
8
8/10.
Are you sure?
800.
Or 800.
800.
800th.
It would be 8/100. Let me show you guys something.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
2
isn't
times, what's 2
0.88.
times 4?
8.
What's 2 times 0?
0.
0.
2 times 0 again?
0.
Nothing changes. So if it's just a ones place digit, that's 1 through 9, you're not going to change. You're not going to change decimals. What if it
Okay.
was, hypothetically, what if it was 20 times 400ths though? How would
That
that
would
change it?
Be
That
8/10
Mm-hmm.
because there's an X.
Yep.
but It's in the 10th place.
That's in the tens place. So that's going to move the decimal, or it's going to shift that number to the left, right?
Yeah.
Versus that one there. All right, good. Okay, we're just going to do this one here. How would I make that 2 into a hundredths? How would what would I write here in the blank?
1/100.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, so Gammy, great job on this problem. Give you your star here. How would I write that hundredths?
0.01.
0.01.
0.01.
100.
As 100ths.
Zeros
Very
instead of
good.
hundreds.
All right, great job. Okay, let's try 36. What do we get for that one? 36. Who can tell me?
You would get
800.
800.
You're right. 800ths. How come I didn't get 8/10?
Because they're both a part of a whole.
What if
So
I
it would
wanted
get
to, what if I
smaller.
wanted to get something that equaled 8/10? 2/10 times something could give me 8/10, not 4/10.
2 times 4.
Just
Four.
4.
Just
Yeah, so just multiplying it by 4 would have given me 8/10. But because I have that decimal there, that's going to shift that 8 to the right. It's going to make it smaller. What's another way to write this number as a fraction?
2/10.
What's another way to write the other number as a fraction?
4/10.
4/10.
Multiplying
Just
that
8
across, we would
hundredths.
get 8/100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense here. Yes, so, and then think about it here. If you wanted to do 0 or 2/10 times 4/10, that's 8. And then how many numbers do we have to the right of the decimal on each one? Total. We have 1 here.
2.
2.
Yeah, we have 2.
2.
Yep. 1, 2. Same thing. Oh, look, they did. What's 38 then? Now that we know that. What's 38?
Oh, 8/10.
8/10.
Yeah, just 8/10. All right, you got to think about this one. Think about how the shift was going. Privately message me what you guys get for 37. Try 37. 37 on your own. I'm going to circle it so you guys know what you're doing. Yeah, Narina, you're correct. Yeah, you are right, Candace, as well. All right, good. Okay, so right now I'm trying to see more of the answers as they're coming in. Terrence, tell me what you got.
I got 8/1000.
8/1000 would be correct. Tenths hundredths, thousandths. 4 times 2, what does that equal?
8.
8.
8.
Okay. How many numbers do we have in our problem? How many numbers are to the right of the decimal?
3.
3. That means you're going to have 3 spaces. The decimal is going to be in 3 numbers in
Shift
front of
the
that 8.
decimal 3
Yep.
places to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So the same answer.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, you have some other problems here, but before we get to the rest of this SAB, I'm going to unspotlight Quail. I have an activity. I want to ask you guys a question. I'm going to come back here behind all the writing. So on your Google Classroom, I'm going to share my screen right now. You have a Padlet. The link is here. I'm going to click it and show you what you guys are doing. This question deals with our lesson for today. Okay, so this is multiplying decimal numbers. How is multiplying a decimal number by a decimal number? So remember, multiplying a decimal number by a decimal number, like multiplying a whole number by a decimal number. So yesterday we were doing whole numbers by decimal numbers. How is it the same? And then how is it different? So it's your opinion, right? So talk about how is it similar? How is it different? I'll stop my share for now. And then I'll give you guys time, a couple minutes, and then we will share over those. If you guys finish the Padlet, I want you guys to work on, and I'm going to put it on the board behind me. I want you guys to finish page 139, the bottom. Page 139, and that is numbers. That's 39 through 47. And I'll put that in the chat as well. Alrighty, I'm looking down here. I'm seeing some great responses so far. Some people are really, really thinking about the question, and that is awesome. Awesome job. I'm going to share my screen so everybody can see this. Got some really great responses going on here. For example, we have Anderson's. Anderson is saying multiplying a decimal number is the same as multiplying a whole number because you multiply the same. Oh, whoops, it's going down a little bit. There we go. is the same as multiplying a whole number because you multiply the same except you have a decimal in the number. Okay, so kind of the multiplication is similar as what Anderson's saying. It's different because multiplying a decimal number has a smaller answer. And multiplying a whole number, you always get a bigger number. The decimal number is part of a whole, but the whole number that is being multiplied by the decimal is a whole number. Good. Yeah, you guys are right on it. Multiplying a number or decimal number by a whole number, multiplying a decimal number by a decimal number differs, right? For example, multiplying a decimal number, I think she's still writing it, but I think she's saying that by a whole number, probably staying the same. Oh, I see Garrett. Garrett included a picture in his, and he has the place values. Awesome job, Garrett. Yeah, we get what you're trying to say, Narita. Good. Does anybody want to share, maybe verbally, kind of what they were explaining, or what kind of like what they noticed the differences were? Like their reasoning, their response? Or just what they noticed, how they felt when they multiplied these? What are some things you guys saw?
I noticed when for problem number 36 and 38 is the problem I was using to kind of help me write this. I noticed that when you multiply by a whole number, you will get the same numbers in the answer, but it'll just be like, it'll have a difference in the value.
So different value. Yeah, from where you started with, right, Narita? Is that what you're saying? Like the four times the 2/10 turns into like 8/10, right? Is that kind of what you were saying? Yeah. Yeah, so that four is decreasing. But you're not, but is there a shift when you're multiplying a whole number?
No.
No.
In the whole number.
You're right, yeah.
Notice multiplying decimal numbers harder than multiplying a whole number.
So you're saying multiplying whole numbers by whole numbers is harder, or what was that, Anderson? Came in a little bit quiet there.
Multiply decimal numbers are harder than multiplying whole numbers.
So yeah, so what's more difficult, Anderson, about that? Like, how so?
Finding where the decimal is supposed to be, basically.
Yeah, finding out where the decimal place needs to be, like where you're going to shift all your numbers. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, the shift.
And there's more zeros.
And remember too, guys, you could also, if you have something like, let me use a darker color, not that one. But if you have like 4/10 times 2/100, you could always rewrite these as fractions too to help you with these. Okay, so how can we rewrite this one, the 4/10? What's this the same as in a fraction? I think you guys are writing right now on these. But remember, 4/10, okay? And then we have 2 in the 2/100, and then we can multiply that across and get 8/1000. And we know by 8,000, that's thousands, yep. Okay, awesome job. I'm seeing shifting right. I think you guys understand about the shifts versus when you multiply the whole number by a decimal, that there's really no shift versus when you're doing it by a decimal. Alrighty, awesome job, you guys. So lastly, what I want you guys to do, and Sertum, I was thinking of giving them, maybe having break at like 9:50 if that works.
That's perfect.
Okay. What I want you guys to do the next thing, okay, and if you haven't done the Padlet yet, you can go back and do it this afternoon, okay? But for the thing that's super important is I want you guys to take a self-assessment. Okay, and the self-assessment is right here on Google Classroom. So actually, everybody stop what you're doing. Hands up. Hands on your shoulders. Hands on your ears. Hands to your side. There we go. All right. So what I want you guys to do is take this self-assessment. Okay, and it's going to scale. You're going to have a scale of 1 to 5, okay? And I wrote 1 being the lowest and 5 being the greatest. You're going to solve math problems, okay? Problems similar, right? Or actually very close to what we talked about today. And when you're solving those problems, if you felt that the problem was very simple for you to do, mark 5. If you felt that the problem was a little bit difficult, you can mark, like a 3 to a 1, right? 1 being it was really hard, 2 being, almost like it was to that point where it was really hard, 3 being good, kind of in the middle, good, and then 4 being pretty good, and then 5 being really awesome about it. Okay, so that's on here on Google Classroom, and then make sure you do that. You're also going to have a button if you want additional help with this as well. It's going to be a yes or no question. Please make sure that you fill that out as well if you want feedback. All right, but make sure that you check 1 through 5, okay, after you solve the problem. So it's a form, and it is on Google Classroom.
Mr. Patterson, before they solve it, if you could edit one part of it, it doesn't say, there's no part that says their name, so it's just going to come in as their lunch number, which might be hard to figure out whose is who. So if you want to edit it, and then if all the kids can refresh their screen.
Okay. That sounds good.
So don't start working on it yet.
Don't do it just yet. I'll let you know.
We're going to be doing this now, right?
Yeah.
Just in a sec. Let me edit it.
Can you put in the chat something that you learned today in math? Will you put it in the chat so I can read it while you're waiting? And I know that I'm going to see everyone do it. Yes, Caitlin, you can. Something that you learned today in math.
Oh, I see, Mrs. Sertum. It's a question that says name. You have to put it as a question, right? And then they freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And then it's just worth no points.
Okay.
Thank you, Anderson, Norina, London, F3, students participating. Thank you, Penny.
Alrighty, that should be in now. Let me know if you guys don't see it.
So then everyone needs to refresh their screen.
So refresh your screen. It should say write your name.
So Cash and Candace and Garrett, refresh. Mila, Leo, Norina, refresh your screen. Zoe. Oh, I think Zoe, you're good now. Perfect.
Those of you that are on there that refresh your screen, can you guys see it? The name?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Norina and Elaine. Alrighty, Ms. Sturdom, you could stop the recording now.
Uh,
That's perfect. Thank you.